today?
I am doing very great.
Okay. Is there a reason to be feeling very great?
Well, we went outside.
Okay.
And I rode my scooter.
Oh. Okay, that sounds exciting. Was it fun? I'm assuming yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, actually, it is very sunny over here for some reason. It was sunny yesterday. So it tricks you to think that it's not that cold, but it is freezing. So very cold over here. Do you have a extreme cold over there too?
No. I think
No,
it would be
that
different.
okay. Okay. Well, you know what? You sent me so many cool things, like so many cool pictures, videos, I don't know what not. I am so like obsessed with the squirrel stories now. Like we had the squirrel like pirate and vlogger, and like this is maybe one of my favorites. I'll try to open it here. Wait. I'm trying. It's really hard because they're all so cool, you know?
Yeah. My favorite was probably
Yeah,
the "This is going to be cranky" thingy. The one behind is actually Augustine, and the one that's saying "This is going to be cranky" is Fat Gus.
Yes, I think I guessed that. But the pictures, the ones where they wear glasses, like sunglasses, that is taking me out. Those are like too funny. They're hilarious.
Yeah, there's also one
I
that's...
mean,
Yeah, I steal your nuts.
this is perfect.
Yeah.
And it's so realistic, it's scary.
Yeah, it's better than my avatar.
No, your avatar's cool. I love it.
Oh,
I like your avatar. But these are special. So I just want you to know that I'm very grateful. I'm so thankful because I cannot express how this makes me feel so immersed and so engaged to you and very, very happy. Like I love stories. I grew up reading stories and my imagination is wow, it's so rich.
Wow.
So thank you. I love that. Well, I also I will show you that in the next class because right now it's not very dear. But as for now, I wanted us to thank you very much for socks slash shoes that you gave our dear squirrel over here.
Yep.
Because it's very cold and the ice must be very cold. So, what do you say we pick up where we left off with our lesson?
Okay.
Okay, well, the last thing we discussed is this one. So, the man with two faces, and we couldn't stress enough how disgusting this looked.
Yeah, that looks pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Unless it has squirrel ears. That'd be so epic.
I mean, it would be epic if it had squirrel ears, but if it didn't have this ugly of a face, I would appreciate that too.
Yeah, that would be very appreciated.
Yes, it would be greatly appreciated. So I will just cover this face briefly because I don't really like it. Thank you very much. So this is the collaboration that works very well. So we discussed some big things that happened, kind of the reveal, how our trio of protagonists felt when they found out who is at fault, who isn't, and all of that. And we touched on briefly here on this, a masterfully crafted climax. So you and I both agreed that nothing is really accidental in this book, is it?
Nah, I don't think there's anything that's accidental, except for the fact that they thought Snape was the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's partly I'm gonna say yes, because I was like very confused when Snape was like holding Quirrell like that, like he's a very, 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 very mean guy. So I'm not really surprised that they suspect that it's Snape, because that would be very obvious just to say he's just like the main bad guy.
Yeah, and you're right. Does it have hair on the head?
No, that's Snape's haircut.
I've noticed, because you started talking about Snape and I'm like, is she? No, she can't possibly be drawing a squirrel Snape, but there you go. We have it. Oh, that's a good thing to try to generate using AI.
Oh, yeah.
Snape squirrel. Oh my god. That's gonna be interesting, for sure. Yep. And yes, that was a good answer. But do you think that was accidental, or was that done on purpose, though?
That was done on purpose when she wrote it, but it's accidental for the characters.
Why do you think that?
Because, like, the characters thought it was so obvious that it was Snape, they made a big mistake. And mistake is, like, some kind of... Like, just know that the trio really made a mistake. Not really the book.
Yes, I agree, and you are correct. So this was guided. This was very guided and very intentional, because J.K. Rowling really wanted us to think, okay, this is so obvious. He is the bad guy here. So we choose him to be the bad guy. And we what? We support the trio. We are like, yes, trio, he's the bad guy. Take him down. But it turns out that both trio and ourselves, we were all very fooled and played by the mastery of disguise that Voldemort did. We all fell into his trap, didn't we? At least I did. And I'm assuming that's what happened with you while you were reading or watching.
Probably, but I think it also occurred with Fat Gus, as she's nodding right
now. Oh, really? Has she gained weight?
Well, she hasn't gained weight yet, mostly because, well, she's just been busy doing all of her vlogs, and I guess saying a lot of things makes her tired. And when she's tired, she usually doesn't want to celebrate, so she usually just falls asleep without eating anything. But, whatever.
Okay. No, it's fine. I like hearing stories about her, but I wanted us to focus on this. This is a big thing here, the resolution. So we know that the resolution happens when in the story. When is the time for the resolution, usually?
Like in the end of a story. Probably.
Exactly, the end of a story. Yeah, it's not probably, it is completely true. So in this case, the architecture of story, this is the resolution. So as you said, this is the phase of the story where the central conflict is kind of resolved and the plot threads are tied together. So we have answers to our questions by the end of the story. However, since this is not the last book, we are always left with wanting to know more. And I really like that. So waking to truth and triumph. Yeah, I've noticed your drawing over here, and I must say that I love it. It's exquisite.
Actually,
It's perfect.
it's just a picture to tell you about the like, it's just like what I just mentioned last class, where like this is where everything happens, which I assume was the climax or something, but and then this is like the resolution thingy, and this
Yes.
is when like everything is building up, and this is the main problem, which I'm pretty sure is a climax, and then this is a resolution. That's a lot of arrows.
It's a lot of arrows, but I think it's just enough for this metaphor. So thank you. And I do remember it. We were talking about like a mountain and like the points in the story, and you did very well. So how does this story end? What is the resolution here? What is tied? What answers are answered? What happens in the end? Briefly, can you tell me?
Dumbledore tells Harry Potter about everything he is confused of, which pretty much is us, what we are confused of, because like we've been following the trail of Harry Potter all this time, and we don't know what's going on with the others and what they know. So like the trio, to be exact. So so Dumbledore tells him about everything, and then he knows, and then he just explains the complete truth, and then he knows what's going on now, and then in this picture they're celebrating, which I think they should add that.
Yeah, I agree with you, yes. So you explained, yes, the truth is revealed finally at the very end by none other than Dumbledore. However, he does something else. He rewards the trio. So they are publicly rewarded for their heroic actions. This must be feeling very good. And I'm sure that they deserve this. Do you think that they were deserving of such a reward, public reward?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, me too. No doubts about that. So we already discussed everything behind kind of that. And now, this is a beautiful, beautiful analogy over here. The boy in the cupboard becomes a hero. So if we compare two pictures, can you tell me how does the first one look and how does the second one look? What is the contrast here?
The contrast here is that the first one looks like they're in cobwebs. The second one looks like in a warming home. The third one is like Harry Potter's really sad, and the next one he has his friends and he's very happy. And it's pretty tidy here, and it's not very tidy here. There's an Easter egg from Christmas here, and there's also an Easter egg that I think is supposed to be normal in this picture too. So that's like the same place where they all have, like, I think is Christmas Easter eggs. And then this one is like in the cupboard, and this one is like in Hogwarts. And then I don't think there's
Yes.
like any other very, very, very obvious differences, because
Yes,
there
there
is a
is.
lot of differences.
So, that was beautifully crafted, Ivanka. Great answer. I do notice that the feeling that kind of is very, very potent in the first picture here, a very strong feeling of isolation and loneliness. Quiet, the opposite here. Totally opposite thing here. Love and acceptance. It's like Harry got everything he asked for, everything he wanted in a short span of time. He truly lived up to the name The Boy Who Lived, because he survived. He literally survived everything from the first day of his life to some of the beautiful days of his life later on. Is that a squirrel on his? Yeah, I think that was the only thing that was missing actually from his happy life with his friends, is a pet squirrel. Why wouldn't he have a squirrel? Why must he have an owl, right?
Yeah, maybe squirrels are not magical creatures, usually.
I mean, usually no, but you never know. Maybe you and I can make a story where they are. So now we've come to this. Forged in Crisis, the Trio's transformation. We briefly talked about this. Can you tell me, do you think that experiencing sort of hardships can unite people? Imagine if all of your squirrels went through what the trio went through together. Do you think they would come out of that experience having like a very great bond, having a great connection, better than they had before that? What do you think?
I think that would be necessary for Frank and Augustine. They don't come along well, because Augustine's the worst thing or worst personality that Augustine can stand is dumb, because she is kind of like Hermione, but more of a Hermione. Like she's even a little hint of Malfoy's personality, but mostly Hermione. Well, she doesn't really like dumb and stuff. Like maybe a squirrel will torpedo down into the tree, and then she would be like, "How ridiculous!" like that. So I think like she is her like the worst playmate that she wants to be with is Frank, but she can still stand it though. Just that she doesn't really like him, so I'm pretty sure they will bond more after that. But well, she usually just corrects him all the time and being like, "How do you not know that? I'm so shocked." And then Fat Gus is like playing chill, like she's like, "Not my problem, Frank. Not my problem." Kind of like a little bit of like a little bit of Hagrid and a little bit of Hermione. And the best thing that I want to say is that Marty and Rick will be extremely attached to each other after that, because they're already good friends. Like they're both really clever, and they both have similar talents. Let's just say they have they both have the talents that they should have, but they don't have. So if they bond with each other, they will basically have the two talents: good at hacking and like really good at math, basically, and very good at parkour. Even though you're like not so strong, like maybe you could do a backflip. That's what Rick would usually do. And I'm pretty sure Fat Tail will be like the ultimate curl in there, but he's not very agile. Just to say, he just likes to bully people. Yeah, that's basically what he does for breakfast.
Oh, wow. Okay, a beautiful explanation and insight, kind of for me, insights into the life of your squirrels. And I do see them, I perceive them just as you described them, but I always appreciate that you explain that to me. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you.
Again, you're very welcome. Now, we briefly also discussed this. We already talked about this a few times, so we know who plays what role in this kind of a team. Are we aware of that? Are you aware of that?
I am aware of that.
Okay. So you can see that this page sort of says that Ron Weasley is the strategist and that Hermione is the heart. Why? They have some defining moments, but we have to focus on this book only and specifically. Would you agree with these statements?
I would agree with these statements, but I really thought Harry was the heart that glued them together, but whatever. Well, she's like the heart. I'm pretty sure that means like she cares for the others. She sacrificed herself twice in this movie or this book.
Exactly.
And excuse me, is she Malfoy?
I know, I've noticed that. I've noticed the green, but I didn't want to kind of point that out. But yes, she's wearing Slytherin clothes. She probably did not choose to wear that. I think the AI kind of put her in that. But it's funny to me that AI decided to give her Slytherin clothes and then write Hermione Granger, the heart. Like they didn't just put her in Slytherin clothes. However, we're gonna let that slide, so to speak, and focus on something else, and that is that both Ron and Hermione change over the course of the book. So they start from one place and end up in completely different place. If we talk about the mind, their feelings, and their strength, do you think that they transformed, both of them? We know about Harry, but what about these two?
They transformed. Let's just say they transformed more than Harry. It's kind of like the problem with Frank and Augustine, and I don't know how lucky I am, but like the personality of the squirrels some of them completely match the personality from the trio, except for Harry Potter. None of them is as Harry Potter-ish. They have their own personalities that the others really need, and the others also have personalities that the others really need, if you know what I mean. And I'm very glad that Hermione and Ron got along, because Augustine and Frank is kind of in the same case and scenario right now. I think they're outside fighting for cake right now.
Oh my God. Okay. I can see that, and also a great explanation yet once again. I truly appreciate that, but let's continue this story after a short break, okay?
Okay.
See you back here in 5.
See you back here in 5 minutes.